Good evening, boys and girls. As you can tell, it's very cold. I'm also quite excited. This evening we are starting on the GTC. Now obviously we've shown you this before, briefly, in the introduction video, and then we've done a few little bits on it that we needed to do just to make it run and drive wonderfully. As I've said in a previous video, towards the end of February, this is going off for paint. So we've got a whole lot of stripping down and a whole lot of digging and lots of little bits and pieces I need to do before it goes to paint. So that's what we're going to be cracking on with tonight. Also, before we start, you may have seen I just walked in with a very nice big box. Now, I did have it around here somewhere to show you, and I appear to have misplaced it. I did want to keep it as a secret. I did want to keep it as a souvenir, but I thought it may have already gone in the scrap bin. So I'll insert a picture of what I'm talking about here now. So yeah, as you can see, the axle stand is quite squashed. Now, the ones I was using was these very old, reasonably flimsy, to be perfectly honest, axle stands. As you can see, this one has also got a bit of a bend in the bottom of it, where it's kind of not necessarily up for the job. So, had someone message me on Facebook saying, "I've just brought a jack and axle stand set, and I only want the jack. Do you want the axle stands for?" I think I paid him 20 quid. 30 quid I paid for them. Bargain. So, we have got in this box here some wonderful... Alright, shut up. We've got some wonderful 3-ton, very nice beefy axle stands with nice flat round things on the bottom there. That light's a bit glary in it, but yeah, some nice, so there we go. Bit of an upgrade there, eh? So, quite excited to use these, and to be perfectly honest, it's fiberglass body cast, so it's not overly heavy. It's obviously an awful lot heavier than the Fiesta, so I didn't particularly want to be fully underneath that, under them things. Still going to need those for some bits, but nice new axle stands. Anyway, that's enough waffling. I'm going to get the door shut. I'm going to get the heater on, because as you can probably tell from my breath, it's very, very cold this evening. I'm going to get old Trusty out over here. I'm going to crack open a beer, and we're going to start stripping the GTC front to back. And I don't know, I just got to keep and yeah, I guess I'll just keep you updated on what we find as we go. There's already a few things I know that I'm going to come across. And there's a few things I suspect I'm going to come across, like a cracked header on the driver's side, because I have a sneaking suspicion that the cast header is cracked. Ideally, once it's all stripped, we'll get under and have a good look and see what needs to be done before it goes to paint. Right, let's crack on. Fucking nearly killed me. For the record, I'm having loads of fun here right now. No place I'd rather be. In a weird sadistic way, that's actually the truth. It's got to be the last bolt, surely. It's got to be. It has got to be the last bolt. Son of a bitch! Oh! That was close, that nearly squashed me. Oh, I really hope that was the last bolt. You have absolutely no idea how fucking hard it's been to try and get this bumper off. It's taken like 3 hours to get this bumper off. Let's call it 2 because I had an hour worth of taking lights and stuff out. Please, please, please be it. Please be it. That's it. Whoops. That's a substantial bumper. I'll give you that. There's more bumper there than I thought there was going to be. Right, move it out of the way. Oh, also, I need to get all of my bits inside it. There's a washer that I dropped. Hang on. Easy to go that way. There's a ratchet that I dropped inside it. There's a 13mm spanner that I dropped inside it. Should also be some more nuts and bolts. Open around it so I can come in. Ooh. That's a wrap of a doodah. There's a washer. There's the bolt and washer for the headlight indicator, even. I think that's everything right. This way. Oh, Jesus! Right. As you can probably tell, that was a mammoth task. That one bumper there was held in by this entire bag of bolts. How many's in there? Quite a lot. There's also another one hiding in that cabinet somewhere that I need to try and get out. So, yeah. And obviously, to get to all of these bolts, they weren't easily accessible. Of course they weren't, no. To get to that, I had to remove the radiator shroud from inside the engine bay. I had to remove the intake grill from underneath. That goes in that hole there, so I had to remove that. Then I had to like lean over here, in here like that, and do some weird strange yoga. So yeah, it wasn't easy getting that off. Anyway, the good news is so far I haven't really found anything too scary. Although at some point, obviously, someone's replaced this radiator, which is fine. That's cool. They obviously ruined the neoprene when they took it up, so they replaced it with carpet underlay. So yeah, nice little bit of carpet underlay. I'm not sure how that works in terms of being flame retardant or what, but anyway, let's add some neoprene to the list. Fuck them off. Yeah. Well, I don't know really where I'm at, to be perfectly honest with you, so I'm going to have a quick recoup and start stripping things off. The front of this now is fairly well stripped, I think. Plenty of access on here. Only roll buttons with some love. It's a bit flaky. Yeah, so the front of this is stripped. Kind of see where everything needs to be. She doesn't look that bad. This needs to. I need to find the nut, the bolt that goes in. Oh, it's already there. Look, there it is. Take that out of there. Right, so that goes in there. Fine, well that's kind of the front end pretty much stripped out. I need to get these fan motors out, because that's the other thing that I had to remove to be able to access the bolts, is these fan motors. So these are for the blower, for the heater. They actually mount these right down the front in here, and then they've got tubing that runs all the way up the inside of this fiberglass body to the heater. So there's no heater motor inside the cabin like there usually is on these. They're both mounted out the front. I'm going to put this in the right bag before I forget, which is that bag there. And then let me seal this up. Sorry, you can't really see what I'm doing here, but seal this up, take this over here, and I'll show you how wonderful and organised I am. This is not the sort of thing you've usually seen on the channel before. It's all a little bit slapdash and a bit this and that, isn't it? But we've got a different calibre on this build. I'm bagging everything as it's coming out. I'm writing on there, bump strip, headlights, headlight surrounds, front grills. These are just little freezer bags. All the little screws for each individual thing coming out, right on the front of them in permanent marker, so that when this all goes up in the loft into the trays, I've actually got trays up there like storage boxes. When it all goes in there for the next 2, 3, 4 months, when we bring it all back out again, we know where it's come from. So yeah, really organised. You know, we're going for it on this one. This is. Well, I'm not really sure, to be perfectly honest with you, how far the time lapse got before the battery ran out. Trying to be a good boy, January, you know. I mean, I've already had a beer tonight, but have some water as well. Anyway, like I said, not really sure how far I got before the battery ran out on the time lapse. So, this is where we are. It's actually reasonably empty compared to where we started. Obviously, the bonnet is off. A whole host of bits and pieces down here. So the coil's out, the leads are off, the belts are off, the alternator is out. Numerous bags of brackets and bolts and bits and pieces that come off. Heat shield's off. Bonnet stays. Bonnet hinges are off. Strip the chrome work off the bumper because that's going to be stripped and sent off to the rechromers. Yeah, so I've still got to carry on stripping down engine bay wires. I was going to drop the exhaust off because, like I said, I think there's quite possibly a crack on the underside of this header because I can hear it blowing, and when I put my hand up there, it doesn't feel like it's the gasket. So I'm kind of hoping it's not, but it might be a little bit of a crack in that header. Anyway, I'm going to take this module out for the electronic ignition, so that clears up the inner wings and everything. Basically, the idea of this is, obviously it's going for paint, but I want to strip as much out of here. I don't know if we're going to pull the engine or not yet. Whether the engine and gearbox will stay in it for paint doesn't really need to come out necessarily. We'll just mask around it. I don't know. That is a decision that I will make, I don't know, at some point. But yeah, I want to strip everything else out basically so we can at least get all the inner wings done. I did find the only thing that I found that I wasn't expecting basically is there's quite a big crack in the body. I don't see if you can see it there, but there's hang on a second, trusty screwdriver out of my pocket. So yeah, flathead screwdriver, just to make it a little bit easier for you guys to see. Put the screwdriver straight through the side of the body there. So as far as I understand it, these plates here, one here, one there, that's kind of where the front of the body bolts to the actual chassis, to the actual frame rails. So and the battery sits on here, so I don't know if it's a weight of the battery that's caused it to crack, or whether it's because this is where all the suspension stuff happens and it's just a stress point or not. But we will have to look at repairing that. Yeah, not too bad. Now it is like midnight, and I've still got to get all of that shit up there in the loft, stored nicely out of the way. I think I'll roll this back because obviously it's not going to start now. It's not the easiest thing to push in the world, and then I've still got to put all the other cars back in. So yeah, that is going to do it for episode 1 of the GTC build. It needs a better name than that, doesn't it? Really. Comments in the section below. What do you think we should call this series? Because we had an overdose. We've already had the Fiesta build. It's not exactly woo, is it? So let's think of something. Well, you guys think of something and let me know. But yeah, like, comment, subscribe. More GTC comment. More GTC content coming thick and fast. And I will see you on the next one. Ta-da.